Hello YouTube, Aaron here, or claudemods, which is my online name. Just a little video really to talk about some of the things that I've been doing recently. I haven't really been doing any videos, and well, I've just been working really, trying to get many updates to do with my system app and obviously to do with my distributions out. So I've been working on trying to get Arch to work, and it's took quite some time, and I've managed to get some releases out today on Arch, and I've also put on my website that Arch will only be Mosquito. I mean, you'll be able to change to the other desktops and taskbar themes such as Lancaster, Spitfire, Hawker within the Mosquito system app within the next version of Mosquito Arch, but as it stands, Arch will only be Mosquito, and also the later versions of Ubuntu such as 24.04 and above will only be Mosquito, and with 24.04 Python PyQt6 is what my new app is built on Arch, and this will also be in the repos of the later Ubuntu such as 24.04 and above, and that basically helps me within helps me and my app, because then I don't need to use a Python environment to install the modules for my app. I can actually just install it directly from the repos, which is Python PyQt6, and that's what this application is built off of. Also, with my Arch distributions, I was having a bit of an issue really, and I find that sometimes the file itself will copy to RAM during boot, and that's why I've kind of implemented this option here just before the calamaris, because if the file copies to RAM, then it's going to look calamaris is going to need to look in a different location to unpack the ISO, and if it doesn't copy to RAM, then it's obviously going to be looking in the default location, or going to need to look in the default location. So I've implemented this option here just before calamaris. I need to switch it up a little bit. So one option is obviously if it copies to RAM, which is installed on real hardware. That basically, if you click this button, enter the password like it says, it's going to change one of the files to then look for the file where it would be once it's copied to RAM. If it doesn't copy to RAM, you'd know if it's copied to RAM or not, because it takes about 5 minutes to load into the ISO, and there's also a loading bar that says the percentage of the file being copied to RAM. If it doesn't do that, then you know that you need the default setting, which would be installed on virtual machine. I've basically said this because in a virtual machine it will not copy to RAM. It will just straight away boot straight off of the ISO, and then you can install it normally. Obviously, when you're booting on real hardware, sometimes it likes to copy to RAM, which is why I've implemented this option here. So really, if it doesn't copy to RAM, then you're going to want to install as if you're installing on a virtual machine. I do need to change this up and specify some more information on this really, so people understand exactly why I've done this. So I will be changing this in later updates, but as it stands, this is what I've had to do on my Arch installs. Also, I'm running the Gamers Edition right now, and I've got everything installed. I'm running on the beta as it stands at the moment. The Gamers Edition will only be beta, KDE Plasma 6.1 or 6.2 beta, whatever you want to call it. If you want to verify I'm actually running the dev, we can look at the packages. I'm not running a virtual machine, I'm actually running a real machine on real hardware. I had many problems with running Arch with my GPU, which is why it took so long to get an ISO actually out there. The ISOs that I provide for Arch all run AMD GPUs, or the line of AMD GPUs in this category here. So mine is a 480, and anything around this sort of generation should work really. I've never really had this sort of problem, although I will say that every time that I've run Linux in the past, I've run off of an APU, or the graphics card wasn't as beefy as this one here that I've got now. So to have it working took me some time to realise how to set it up and stuff, and I've got it working now with the beta, and we've got the Gamers Edition, so I could just load up Steam or Bottles or anything and run some of the various games that I do have installed. Also, yeah, I'd like to show you that we are running the dev files. We're all running 6.0.90 files of KDE. All of these files we are running some of them at 6.3, and I am looking to provide newer packages, and there also may be a custom ISO built. It's going to be around about 15 GB download, and it will contain Arch as a base, so normal KDE Plasma packages 6.0.5, and also the the framework 6.3. Is it? Was it 6.0.3? I'm pretty sure it's 6.3. So the newer Plasma stable release frameworks will be on the base install of Arch, but there will be the KDE compiled dev files in the home directory. So just like after compiling Plasma from the dev branch, you can log in with the SDDM login screen into the dev files, or you can log in to the normal stable files. So if you get any problems with the dev files or running the dev files as such, then you can always go back to the stable versions of the packages. Like I said, this is going to be about 15 gigabytes, and also I'm going to have to compile the files and create the system app to work and download basically the newer compiled files when they come out. So like on the 18th of this month, I do believe there's a new update coming out, and say if I was to put an update out in the next few days with the compiled packages that are already out there now, you're obviously going to want to get the newer versions, which is why I want to implement a button into my system app to download the compiled files that I compile and put onto my SourceForge, and then extract, and basically then you just reboot and all the files will be the newer frameworks. So that is the plan. Now obviously I don't know whether you're going to have to do that on the normal version of Plasma just so you don't get any problems whilst you're installing them or changing the files, or whether you're going to be able to do that whilst you're running the beta. But for safety reasons, I'm pretty sure that it would be advisable to log into the normal KDE packages and then update with the system app. I'm yet to try this myself. I'm going to create this. The system app is going to, the Mosquito Gamers Edition, Mosquito Arch Gamers Edition Full will be released soon. I'm posting this on the internet shortly after this video. Also, Mosquito, going forward with KDE Neon, Mosquito will be the new ongoing rolling release for KDE Neon. Lancaster has been terminated, so all Gamers Editions will be made on Mosquito, and all Mosquito, KDE Neon Gamers Edition Full and minimal ISOs will be KDE Neon. Mosquito will be the only distribution out of the four that I normally would do to get the newer updates basically, and that's my plan going forward. Just makes it easier, helps with some of the updates, so I haven't got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, if I put all of that into the system app so that you can change into Lancaster or Spitfire, Hawker, Lancaster being ocean blue, Hawker being dark blue, and Spitfire being burgundy, and then obviously they've got their own individual desktop images and artwork, then I'll do that to make it easier. Obviously it saves a lot of time with creating ISOs and testing and stuff, and yeah, you can always push a button to change into the old version, or different things or distributions that I would have created. Also, moving forward with KDE Neon, really, they keep releasing ISOs by the day, and it's just a joke really to keep updating to the latest ISOs. So I might have a schedule of updating ISOs maybe. So if a new ISO comes out every 2 weeks, I'll probably do one ISO every 2 months, just to refresh. Because if you notice from the ISO that I built on Lancaster compared to the ISO I built on Mosquito, there's a huge difference in size. I don't know whether it's the packages have gone up or something, but the way that I build my distributions have not changed. They're exactly the same, so I don't know why the sizes are different. They're the same packages, just updates. I removed the old kernel after downloading the ISO and updated everything. I remove a lot of stuff. So some of the stuff that I do remove, and one of the things that I do remove, is the kernel packages for the old kernel. So that there's like a kernel version 5.0 point something. That is, in my eyes, it's not needed. If you're going to be using the newer kernel, you might as well use the newer kernel. If the old, I don't know what the old kernel's for, maybe for a backup or something. That's the way that Ubuntu works. But myself, claudemods distributions, I'm all about making my distribution lightweight. You don't need extra bloatware stuff you don't need, which is why I have removed all the Manjaro stuff as well in my Arch distributions. Snap is not installed. I don't like to install flat packs, but to be honest, Fedora Media Writer was something I needed to install, and it just makes it easier to install it that way anyway. I was going to use an app image, but I thought I might as well. Just Fedora has been very good with me on Arch, so I thought I'd go with Fedora. But yeah, basically moving forward, Mosquito is going to be the name of choice now for all distributions going forward, and I'm going to be doing a lot of testing on my Arch distributions. There's Mosquito Arch KDE Games Edition Minimal that's been released, and that's version 2.0.2. There's Mosquito Arch KDE Gamers Edition Minimal Dev that's been released, so you can download that as well, and that's version 2.0.2. 2.0.3, some of the information things that have been added on the website and also on my SourceForge, so some of the newer features which I won't be saying in this video are stated on there. And yeah, so I'm most likely going to possibly update a few more ISOs on the Neon side until they finally get onto 2404 servers, which in my eyes there's a lot of stuff missing on 2404. Really and truly, I'd much rather build Plasma 6 packages on the Ubuntu repos, from the Ubuntu repos, than build it from KDE Neon. Just down to the fact that they're meant to have the latest and greatest packages, but it was only just the other day that they got the 6.0.5 packages, and it's just like, well, really and truly, if I'm getting them from Ubuntu, they're doing their own tests. They've got a big group of people on Ubuntu, and of course I'm pretty sure they're most likely going to be more up to date than the KDE Neon side, because KDE Neon itself is using its own packages, whereas Ubuntu. So I'll be honest, I don't know who's going to have the fastest packages come out, you know, when new packages come, who's going to get them fast? I'd have to test this myself, so I couldn't really say really and truly, but that's something I need to look at in the future, you know. Building on KDE Neon and building on Ubuntu and having two different distributions based on the same packages would make no sense whatsoever. So it either makes sense to do KDE Neon or do Ubuntu Plasma 6. One or the other. There's no point doing them both. You know how when Plasma 5, when KDE Neon changed from Plasma 5 to Plasma 6, I changed the repos and got rid of KDE Neon repos because obviously Plasma 6 would have broke everything I created on Plasma 5. Then I renamed everything to Ubuntu KDE because it was no longer KDE Neon, even though it had KDE Neon's kernel and packages. Nothing was being updated from KDE Neon anymore. It was all from Ubuntu, you know, and really and truly there was not really going to be any more package updates as such. So when Ubuntu finally goes Plasma 6 and the packages are released, I don't know whether I'm going to start creating my own PPA system or something on the Ubuntu side and move off of KDE Neon all entirely. I'd like to basically mimic KDE Neon package by package without the artwork, basically. You know, I'd like to have the same kernels and everything set up so that the graphics and everything work just out of the box, just like KDE Neon. I'm pretty sure maybe Ubuntu would probably do the same thing if I do proprietary drivers. But you know, we'll see at a later date. At the end of the day, at the moment, I will be honest with you. I'm sticking on Arch. I mean, it's where I started. I got a friend got me into Ubuntu and Debian, but really, my components should be running on Arch anyway. I'm running newer components in the market. You know, okay, there's more expensive components. There's newer components than what I got, but I believe my AMD4 2600X and my AMD RX 480 is more than enough to be running an Arch. I mean, I've got KDE Neon running on my Dell Latitude E6400 right beside me, and well, it's running a bit slow because it's only got 2 gigabytes worth of RAM. But you know, really and truly, that's what KDE Neon was built for. Arch, you know, well, to be honest, they're two very good distributions, and I have got both of them installed on both of them, so it's like I can run one or the other on any of them, and they work just as well as each other in my eyes. But I'd rather be on the later packages, and I've always been a fan of Arch. When it does work, it works perfect. You know, okay, people complain about kernel problems and this, that, and the other problems with Arch. The only problems I've ever had with Arch have always been kernel, and every problem that I have seen has been kernel based. So it's like, why update the kernel then? Just put a block on the kernel. But really and truly, I'm using Manjaro's kernel on my Arch builds. Yeah, and you're not going to receive any more kernel updates because there's no Manjaro servers or mirrors, should I say, in my build. You're not getting any more packages from Manjaro because I've removed it all. Anything to do with Manjaro has been removed. So yeah, I don't like to rely on other people's packages, and really and truly, the way that Manjaro have set up their distribution is not the way that I'd set up, so that's why some of the things have been removed. At the end of the day, I'm claudemods, I'm Aaron, I'm not Manjaro. The way that I set up things and the way I like to do things is completely different to how others do things. You know, I've got my own unique ways. There was many things on Manjaro that I wanted to remove, such as the system settings and stuff like that, really and truly, you know, and obviously now we're looking at a hybrid system, half packages from Manjaro, half Arch, and really and truly you won't get any issues because the Arch keyring itself is the Arch keyring. It's not Manjaro's keyring or anything, so any updates that you do get on Arch will be from Arch. It'll just go directly over their Manjaro packages that are installed because I've removed the key based files from Manjaro, so any updates that do come that will go directly over what's already been changed to the Arch packages, not Manjaro packages. So you're not relying on Manjaro packages to update you because obviously there's no repos for Manjaro. Yeah, I'll do a lot of testing and tweaks and stuff, you know, and well, the system app itself needs a few updates. Took me a bit of a while to get where I am, and well, obviously the custom scripts haven't got the dev part of it in here because we're running the dev. It doesn't make any sense to add the dev. The theme changer doesn't work. You can't change to any of these at the moment. Ball will work. Well, we'll probably have to fix some of these things. The updater works perfectly well. We can get it to work. Now there's a few issues with the system app that I do need to fix. Well, you can make a backup if you wish. You can use the updater if you wish. I've also updated the updater on my KDE Neon distributions, so you can now use this system updater to update your packages. As you can see, all packages are up to date. We are running on the beta. Not too sure if you can lock the kernel packages, but there ain't going to be any kernel updates anyway, so that's pretty pointless. Mosquito system app packages. Currently there's no updates, although you can download the updates. It's only going to just download the one file that provide the links to the later updates. So when new updates do come out, I'm going to update that file, so when you do go to update your packages, it's going to update that file, then you can close the app, go to update again, it's going to download all the latest packages. So if you don't know, in the past I've said that you need to do it twice. So you click update the Mosquito packages. Probably have to fix this in a new yeah, we're going to have to, obviously there's a few updates that need to be fixed, so that might have to be fixed as well, funny enough. There's room for improvement on Arch. I mean, Arch has only really just started. Yeah, we're looking at version 2.3, 2.0.2. Really and truly, it's like version 1.0. But I already had an Arch version, really and truly, and like version 1.0.2. So that's why I'm like now 2.2. Plus the Gamers Edition 1.0 and above. On the version 1 side of things would have been Plasma 5. Then we started on Plasma 6, which would have been version 2. So now we're running on version 2, which is Plasma 6. If Plasma 7 will ever come out, then we'll be running on version 3. But we're always going to keep to the code names of 1, 2, and 3, and 4, depending on the Plasma version. And obviously Plasma 6 is the new Plasma, so I don't think the version number is going to go up to version 3 anytime soon. I'm going to stick at version 2.0 and so on with the Plasma 6 updates. So we're always going to be version 2 and the other numbers with Plasma 6. Also, what else have I been really focusing on? I've been looking at making my app a little bit better with some of the information. I want to add some more information into the app. I want to also start making some more apps for my distributions or others to download within the Discover store. Now I've found more methods to create apps, and there's new things that I can add, and I'm always looking at options and ways to make it better whilst you're using my distribution or applications or things in general, like the Discover store, my service menus that I've created. Yeah, I created a few videos just to test OBS Studio. The service menus and stuff that I create just to make it easier for other people. It's not just myself. You know, I made this distribution for myself and others. I enjoy using it, and I enjoy editing and creating things. So there's a lot to do. There's only one person really updating this distribution. That's myself, myself, and I. And if there is anything missing, I'm sorry for that. I'm trying to get everything updated and work well. For the most part, working really. Newer features really. If there is a button showing a feature that doesn't work, I'm sorry for that. I just really want to show that some of the features that will be there, and people know, oh yeah, this is what Lancaster could do. The backup feature still works, and you can still update the system. You can still clear your cache. There's no need to lock the kernel packages, like I said. Well, obviously some of the things that need to be added will be added in the newer ISOs, which I will be pushing to try and get out within the next couple of days, although there is no time frame because I have a lot of testing to do. They've only just been released, although I've had no issues running on real hardware, as you can see. Obviously I'm using my AMD graphics card and everything is running perfectly fine. And I've had no issues whatsoever. So if you are installing this, when you boot from the USB, because you're going to want to obviously flash it to flash the ISO to a USB. If you're flashing any of my Arch distributions to a USB, this is only Arch. This is nothing to do with any of my Ubuntu distros or anything. This is only Arch. If you boot Arch from a USB, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it, and it's copying a file and it gives you a percentage and takes 5 minutes to copy this one file to a specific location, then you're going to want to use this option here. If the ISO boots from the USB and it takes roughly about a minute to load and there isn't a bar with a percentage loading telling you that there's a file being copied to the RAM, or it might not say that, it might just be a bar with a percentage, then you can install it as if you were installing on a virtual machine. So basically these two options are because obviously sometimes it copies to RAM and sometimes it doesn't, and on a virtual machine it will never copy to RAM. That's why the option has been set for install on virtual machine, although I do need to add some more information online and switch this up a little bit better to help people understand exactly why these functions were made. But that is it for today really. It's just a quick update to some of the things that I'm doing and just really showcasing the new Arch. I mean, I'm not really having any issues with the taskbar anymore. I have to sit there and tinker a little bit. I can show show exactly what I've done. So go to edit mode here. Oh yeah, because we're on the beta, we have to do it this way. I forgot about that. So I've had to set it up like this so it works. There's something wrong with the taskbar on Plasma 6. It took me a while. Well, there's not really anything wrong with it. It just took me a while to get my thing to work with Plasma 6 and the way that the taskbar works. So trial and error really has got me this far. So there is many more things to come to Lancaster, to my distribution, should I say. I say Lancaster because I've only just really come out of the Lancaster era now to the Mosquito era of things, and obviously tinkering and testing and improvements such as the new cursor and the new tab, the window decorations, was some of the many things that I needed to create Mosquito really to find these things and add them as features. So on the route of creating Mosquito and getting a base for Mosquito before Mosquito was a thing, I obviously tried different things and The window decorations and the cursor was one of the many things that I added in addition to the new colour to the taskbar and also the desktop theme, or image should I say. But yeah, that's it really. I've really got nothing else to say. I've got tons of videos on my YouTube to do with other versions of my Linux distributions that I create. Arch really hasn't got any more, hasn't got any videos as such at the moment, although there is just a few more updates I want to publish before I get any more videos of gaming or anything as such out. I hope you're having a good night or day, whatever time it is when you're watching this video, and it is a bye from me, Aaron, or claudemods, which is my online name.